No one has more Arnold wins than me. So I don't see 28 wins ever being broken, because once a guy start competing and he gets up to the top level and he start doing the Olympia,
They stop competing.
they stay at the Olympia.
Right, exactly.
They don't do Arnold's. They don't do other shows. They only do the Olympia every year.
All right, so let's get into it. Dexter, good to see you. Good to meet you finally.
You too, my man.
It's funny, we never officially met you, right? We never even had a conversation, I think. You.
Never.
So it's the first time.
First time.
Long overdue, man. You didn't want to talk to me.
No, ever since the movie came out, the very first movie I felt I should have been in, I was dealing with you guys.
I think you should have been in it. To be honest with you, I think you should have been in it, but at that time, I didn't have all the say in the world.
Right.
I didn't have all the say to be who was in the film even. But you should have been in it, man.
I really feel I do. I thought it was very disrespectful. I got that from a lot of fans and stuff around the world as well. Like, why you wasn't in the movie? I couldn't explain it. You know what I'm saying? So, but that hit me real hard because of especially everything that I've done in the sport. Right. I just felt that I deserved, to be in the movie. Especially me going. When was the movie exactly?
2012 we filmed it.
2012.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was a good year. That was a very good year for you, actually.
Yeah, it was a good year, and I was coming back, because I was contemplating retiring in 2010. So I was on my way back, and I started winning again. So going from someone that was about to retire, and that's older competitor, one of the oldest to do it, and to start winning again at my age, I felt that could have been a story in itself.
It seems like you were trying to retire for a long time, but you always come back and you always, you always exceed the expectations.
Yeah, I've probably tried to retire about 10 times.
Right.
But it's like every time I set, a time to retire, like say for instance, if I say I'm gonna retire in 2 years, then I start winning show after show after show, and then it's like, you know what? Well, maybe it's not time yet. Then same thing happens. Another 2 years, I add another 2 years onto that. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. For me to be able to continue to keep getting better and winning shows, that's what allowed me to continue competing and keeping a hunger in my heart, to continue doing this, because it's been a minute since I won a show. I haven't won a show since 2016, so I better win something this year. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens.
So you're not retiring, because there was some rumors that you might be retiring, might not be retiring. So it seems like right now you're in full prep for a show. Right?
I'm in full prep for a show. I'm doing Tampa Pro and then Olympia. I set out to do Tampa Pro first. I got back with Charles Glass. George wasn't at the Olympia last year. George Fair, for you guys that don't know. He wasn't at the Olympia last year because he had cancer.
He was very sick.
Yeah, he was very sick. Yeah. So I said, you know what? And I played 7th. And my thing was, if I ever fall out of the top 6, I was gonna retire. But being that I wasn't with Charles and I wasn't with George being sick, he wasn't at the show, I said, you know what? Let's give it another year. Let's get back with Charles, see what happens. Let's, now that George is going to be at the Olympia, let's see what happens. So, by the way things are going, I should be right in the mix because I got these 2 guys back in my corner. And but like I was saying, that's why I was contemplating retiring at first.
Right.
I wanted to get back with these guys, see how I do at Tampa. And then if things don't go well at Tampa, then I will retire at the Olympia. So, but as the way things are looking now, I don't see me retiring at the Olympia this year.
Now you have amazing history in the sport, a lot of accolades. You won the Olympia in 2008.
Right.
5 Arnold Classics, I believe. And I think you hold the record for the most wins as a pro bodybuilder.
Right.
If I'm correct here.
That's correct.
Do you think you still, to some degree, underrated? Do you think people count you out sometimes?
They've been counting me out my whole career, even till this day, yeah. And that's one of the things that keeps me motivated. I love when people say I can't do something. That's why I still have that hunger in my heart to want to compete. If I lose that, the desire, and I can't train as heavy as I can, then it's time to go. But as long as that's there, my body's holding up, and my face look old, but the body still look young. As long as my body's still looking young, I don't have no wrinkles and all that stuff, man. No telling how long I can do this, as long as, you know, I'm able to bring in the full package. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens.
But on the flip side, though, like when people say who's the best of all time, right? Best bodybuilder of all time, you know, of course, people want to say the guy that won the most Olympias.
Right.
But if you really think about it, your name should be mentioned in conversation because of the track record.
Right. I don't like to toot my own horn, okay? But I'm in the same predicament as LeBron James. You know, Michael Jordan got 6 rings, 6 MVP finals. Most people, well, half the people consider him the greatest. But you got this era with these young cats and these young fans. They only know LeBron. They don't know what Jordan did. They don't know nothing about Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So he got the 6 ring and the 6, you know, MVPs, whereas LeBron has only got 3, but the body of work that he's putting in is incredible. I mean, he's 34 and he's still playing like he's, you know, he's still young. You know what I'm saying? So he's still the best in the world at 34. It's never happened. You know what I'm saying? So he can probably go to no telling how. He's going to break every record it is. So you have to put him in that, you know, in that greatest of all times because of the body of work that he's doing. You know, you can look back at Michael Jordan and say, well, Michael Jordan got X amount of this and X amount of that. You know what I'm saying? But Michael Jordan and LeBron has played like I know the stats. LeBron has played like 130 games more than Michael Jordan. He's been playing 17 years, but Mike only played like 15 years. But guess what? Michael Jordan still got over 1,000 more shots than LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. It's the body of work. So the same thing with me. No one has lasted this long, you know, and no one has lasted this long on a consistent level. You know what I'm saying? So no one has more wins than me. No one has more Arnold wins than me. So I don't see 28 wins ever being broken, because once a guy start competing and he gets up to the top level and he start doing the Olympia, they stay at the Olympia. They don't do Arnold's. They don't do other shows. They only do the Olympia every year. See, when I lost, I said, bump that. I'm going to keep competing. And I was able to keep competing. And of course, you know, train my body and stay away from heavy weight. You got to make the proper adjustments. So you know, I've been the only one to figure this out. No one has lasted this long. So all these people out there saying, well, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. Well, I'm the only one that's figured it out. Why you not following my blueprint?
How did you figure it out?
Because you have to make the proper adjustments. And what I mean by that is you can't train heavy your whole career. You got to start backing off of that heavy compound movements and start doing more machine work. I do strictly machine work. And a lot of people think you can't grow off of machines, but I am the, you know, I'm the one to show you that you can. You know what I'm saying? That's why I've been able to, you know, continue getting better. My joints don't hurt anymore because I only do machine work. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons. Another reason is I've been blessed with great genetics, as you all know. So I don't have to do a ton of cardio. Doing a ton of cardio, if I had to do 3 hours every day, my whole career for 20-something years, I would have been retired a long time ago. Oh, that's wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? So right now I'm only doing 20 minutes a day, and we probably stop doing that 20 minutes at 3 weeks out. So like I said, the body of work that I've done, I will have to put me as one of the greatest because of what I've achieved and what I'm still achieving. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, for sure. It's interesting because back in the day, like in the 90s, right, like the guys would do a lot of shows leading up to Olympia, post-Olympia, right? But today, bodybuilders don't really do that. You're one of the only guys that was left to do a lot of shows a year.
That's what I'm saying. You know, that's why my records will never be broken, because these guys don't want to get out there and do the work, put in the work. You know, back in the day, me, Flex, Chris, and Kevin, all of us used to do the tours. We used to all go on tours and do mad shows. Not these days. They do a couple shows here and a couple shows there and take a year off. I didn't take no years off. When I first turned pro, You know, you had all the, you know, of course, everybody say that that era, you know, with Flex and all those guys came up in, the 90s was the best era. When, you know, but you can, that's to each his own, you know, but a lot of people say that was the best era, but we all competed in mad shows back then. When, like I said, these guys these days, they you know, they spoiled. They just want to win Olympia and chill.
I mean, often they say, well, it's because of the health reasons. You know, you have to kind of readjust. The body has to recover, and you have to be the best at the pinnacle of your body once a year. You don't see.
Well, all that plays a part in being professional, and all that plays a part in, like I said, what you know, all that plays a part in why I've lasted so long. Health is number one. You know what I'm saying? So, get my blood work done twice a year. That's a norm. You know what I'm saying? So you have to know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and know when to shut it down. You can't, you know, you can't get on aspirin and take aspirin every day, all day. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know what you're doing, when to shut stuff down, and when to get, you know, when to start back doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's all part of my regimen coming up through the years, learning my body. That's why I've lasted so long. I actually got my blood work done right before I came out to LA at the Mayo Clinic. If you guys don't know what the Mayo Clinic is, look up the Mayo Clinic. There's like 3 of them in the United States, and they're the #1 hospitals in the United States. We have one in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay. So I went to Mayo. I got some extensive blood work done for 2 weeks. They, you know, 2 weeks. I was going in there a few times a week. And my blood work came back, and the doctor was like, man, it's absolutely perfect. I've never seen them like this. Gotta learn how to take care of yourself. That's #1. I feel that if you were known to be out of shape, that's cool, that's fine. But once you win a Mr. Olympia title, you have to do some adjusting. Mr. Olympia is
before the guest poser.
Period. You gotta look good all the time now. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. You know, I can't speak for no one else. But this is my opinion. Okay, I'm a professional, so I'm gonna look good regardless. Of, you know, I don't want a title. Even before I won Mr. Olympia title, I make sure I look good on off season. That's just being professional.